Right then, here we go. It's Friday. It's 5:20, and this means one thing. It is time to check in with our resident movie buff, Van Connor, to see what movies are out this weekend, what's worth seeing, and maybe what's worth avoiding. Good afternoon, Van Connor. How are you?
And a hello to you, sir. As always, we've got a treat for you this week. One in cinemas, one that you can stream. So we're really covering the bases this week.
We like that. We absolutely do. So where do you want to start then?
Let's start with the good old movie theatre. Let's start with the cinema and talk about Freaky, which I could basically synopsize by calling it Freaky Friday the 13th, because what you've basically got is a sort of teen slasher movie in a small town literally called Blissfield. And there's a local town serial killer named the Blissfield Butcher, played by Vince Vaughn, who goes around and hacks up all the teens one by one, as they do. Only this time, he's accidentally picked up the wrong knife, and he's got this ancient cursed dagger that he tries to hack up a girl with, only for the knife to actually be cursed, and it swaps their bodies. So the teenage girl wakes up in the body of the serial killer, and the serial killer wakes up in the body of the teenage girl, and what you've then got is Freaky Friday with murdering. I've got a clip for you of the two crossing paths for the first time after transforming.
Guys, he's here somewhere. He's wearing my body and he's wearing my face. He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. And if we don't capture him first, God knows how many people he's gonna kill. Whoa. What am I wearing?
I'm actually really liking this for you.
Stop right there.
Is this kind of done tongue-in-cheek, like
Yes.
Scream?
Right. Now, the obvious reference point is Scream. Now, that's for one thing. So it's basically sort of pitched as Scream meets Freaky Friday, obviously. Yeah. In reality, this actually plays closer to... Did you ever see The Hot Chick with Rob Schneider and a much younger Rachel McAdams, where he was like the wacky homeless drug addict who body swapped with a teenage girl? Basically the same concept, but done just as a rom-com. This is done as a slasher, and it's written and directed by Christopher Landon, who did Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2U. And you'll remember the first Happy Death Day was basically Groundhog Day with slashers, this being Freaky Friday with slashers. He seems to just have a thing about doing movie that exists with slashers. So I'm really looking forward to The Wizard with Fred Savage with slashers. I think that'll be a really good addition to this little canon he's got going. But like Happy Death Day started quite serious on the subject and earned a level of brevity and comedy as it went on, this kind of launches right into it, much like Happy Death Day's sequel did. So this is almost exactly as good as Happy Death Day 2U. But Vince Vaughn's a lot of fun in it. Catherine Newton threatens to steal the show as literally a teenage girl serial killer, which is just done with so much fun and so much over-the-top goriness. There's a great playing against type for Alan Ruck, who you'll remember as the best friend from Ferris Bueller. Cameron from Ferris Bueller. He's this misogynistic teacher who gets on the wrong side of, a serial killer in the body of a teenage girl. Imagine how that goes. It's a lot of fun. It's nothing particularly original or especially memorable, but put it on, enjoy yourself for 100 minutes. It's a hack and slash body swap comedy.
Has it got the suspense that Scream had? Because although it was tongue in cheek, there were moments of suspense where you're shouting at the screen.
Oh, they're not playing for that at all. No, they are pretty much going for this is boilerplate. You can predict the A, B, and C of what they're going to do, and with the minute they announce this thing, the minute they reveal this item, what the MacGuffins are, what the Chekhov's gun's going to be, what the Deus Ex Machina is going to wrap all this. You know how all of this is going to work. I mean, there is a Deus Ex Machina slotted into the end of this that you could literally predict the moment they introduce it early, and that could conveniently save the day. It's one of those. But it's fun.
You might need to explain what that means exactly. I mean, I only learned about a year ago speaking to you.
Well, Deus Ex Machina literally means the ghost in the machine. It's this convenient loophole we have that can just get us out of this. All movies have these little tricks. Chekhov's gun is a good one. The most famous example I always use is the one in The Simpsons, in which Homer Simpson says, I've heard how this ends. It turns out the secret code is also the nursery rhyme he said to his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. It's like, how convenient.
MacGyver.
MacGyver. Not even that. It's this is that lucky penknife that my late father left me that we keep showing you in flashbacks. And at the end of the movie, the lucky penknife is how they take out the
Saves the day.
Just to give you an example.
Yeah, no, that makes sense now. That absolutely makes sense. Okay.
That was Chekhov's gun anyway.
So, your final one, we've only got a couple of minutes on this one. Tomorrow War.
The Tomorrow War, new movie from Lego Batman movie director Chris McKay, right? Not to be confused with Adam McKay, very, very different McKay, although I would love to see his version of this film. So, Chris Pratt stars as... Chris Pratt, effectively. It's one of those characters that only Chris Pratt plays. Like, he's ex-military, but he's also a scientist and a high school teacher and, like, at one point, a qualified pilot. So he seems to just does everything. Like how he's a dolphin trainer and an ex-soldier in Jurassic World. Anyway, he's the school teacher who gets drafted into a war 30 years in the future when people come back in time and say, there's going to be a war, we need soldiers, you've got to come through the time portal and help us. I've got a clip for you of them getting revealed this.
We are you. 30 years in the future.
It's okay, sweetie.
We are fighting a war. Our enemy is not human. And we are losing. In 11 months' time, all human beings in the future will be wiped from the face of the earth. Unless you help us.
This is the one I want to see, Van. Now, is it worth it?
Do you know what? For a streaming film, for all of these big budget things that have gone to streaming, this is arguably the best one.
Ooh.
And I'm thinking about comparing it to things like Six Underground and The Old Guard and The Irishman, things like that. This is a proper old school blockbuster on streaming, and it's actually it's pretty decent. I think they've done the right thing not putting in cinemas because I don't think it would have made the money it needed to. This has apparently been bought for like 200 million. I don't think this would have made any more money than the very comparable Edge of Tomorrow did, for instance, and that had Tom Cruise to take it to the bank. This has Chris Pratt. He's not Tom Cruise level. You know, that made 100 mil. This probably would have made maybe 70 conservatively, but it's a good time. It's a good romping original sci-fi movie. It's got nothing original, but it's cool. It's fun. It's fine.
And where can we watch it if we want to stream that?
This is free to stream on Amazon Prime from today, and I think it's worth giving it a go.
Amazing. As always, Van Connor, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your tips on these two new movies, and we will catch up with you next week.
Till the next time, good sir.
Have a top weekend. It's coming home.